You're going to be advancing it with your wheel here. I don't know if it's in camera view, but it's at the end. I'm going to bring that right up to the tip and get that started. And you always want to use some cutting fluid. It's got some Tap Magic here. Good stuff. It's only a couple bucks. Put a little bit on the end there. A couple drops. About 600 RPMs. And just get that going in there slowly. And as you get that in there, back that off a little, start it again. You're going to go into about 3/4 of the way up on the angle. That'll give you a nice starter hole. And just going slow here, and it depends on the metal that you're using, how fast you're going to advance it. You'll get a feel for that. It also makes screeching noises. Bring it back. You can also oil it up more. You'll do that when you're drilling. That's a good starter hole. And back that off. Turn that off. Okay, so now we're going to unloosen our tailstock, bring it back, take out our bit. Okay. Always want to keep them clean. Should always have a blowgun handy, which I don't right now. Actually, I do. It's right here. Be right back. As you're going, just blow out the hole a little bit. And you want to chuck up your proper size drill bit for the hole you'll be tapping. In this case, it's a metric M8 by 1.25 tap we're going to be using. So this is actually a 6.7 millimeter drill bit, which is the proper size for that tap. You're going to chuck that up, get that in there nice and tight. And you're going to bring your tailstock up to about 1/4 inch away. Tighten that down. And again, definitely get your cutting fluid on there. Be liberal with that. Turn it on. And just do slow. About 600 RPMs. Start it in there. And when you're drilling like this, you're always going to want to get it in there and back it off. Clean out the metal chips after every few turns. And back it off. And just keep going as deep as you need. In this case, I'm going to go about 3/4 of an inch deep to tap that hole. Okay, and back that out. You can add some more fluid. Be careful. Spinning parts. See it smoking a little bit. It's really just from the oil. If you're cutting hard metal, you gotta use the proper tooling. You have to use a different carbide bit, possibly. But for this steel, it's pretty soft. It's pretty easy to drill. And as you're advancing here on your tailstock, it's numbered here. There's lines that you can tell how far you're going in. It's measured in inch, not metric. So we're about where we want, about 3/4 of the way in. Nice even hole. And there's our hole we're going to be tapping with. Bring that in once more. Okay. clean up here. Be careful. Sometimes it's going to be a little bit hot. Loosen your tailstock. Get your chuck out of there. Get your drill bit out of the chuck. And now we're going to be getting my tap, and I'm just going to blow that out, blow out the hole there, get everything ready, and then we'll be tapping next. We're going to be tapping under without power. The problem with this machine is it only goes down to about 200 RPMs. When you're tapping, you got to go much slower, about 30, 40, 50, maybe 60. Some people have made modifications to this machine to get it lower. I haven't messed around with that yet, but I've had a lot of luck tapping by hand, just using a standard tap. It's got the square end, but we're not going to really be using that because you're going to chuck it up. You're going to get it all the way in there, and you want to get this really tight because it's going to be done by hand. It's not really what a professional machinist is probably going to show you, but I've done some research. People have done it this way, and I've had a lot of luck doing it this way so far. Again, get it really tight. And you probably want to wear gloves because you're going to be doing this by hand, basically. Okay, so you want to start with some tapping fluid. A lot of it on there. And you're going to be keeping your tailstock loose here. So basically, it's just going to be traveling in there itself as you're turning it and threading it here. So get it up there, start it in there gently, and just start turning counterclockwise. And it'll be advancing itself, and you're actually pushing on it as well, just applying light pressure. And once it starts to get... So this one's working pretty well. It's going in there, almost done. And you'll feel it getting tighter. So now I'm going to start backing it off, and it'll really just apply some light pressure on the tailstock, backing it off. But it'll really back itself off. And what we should have here is after we clean it up and blow it out, is a nice perfectly centered tapped hole here. And you can either put a stud in it, it depends on what you're using it for, but the machine shop will charge you quite a few bucks just to do something pretty easy like that. Got a little stud here. There you go. You can already tell it's a nice, clean, easy thread. Basically, I don't know if you can see that, but it's perfectly centered. So, there you go. Alright, so when you're done using your lathe, best thing to do is get yourself a good shop vac. You don't really want to blow it out. You want to try to vacuum it out. There are adjustments you got to make from time to time. You got to tighten or adjust your gibs. You want to keep your tailstock or your carriage clean. It made sorts of bouncing around during this video. Basically, I have this on a rollable cart, which actually seems to work pretty well. You can mount it up on a bench, but it's a pretty light machine, and you can actually move it around pretty easily. The bouncing is okay as long as it doesn't get too bad, but it doesn't affect your cutting. Everything is stable during operation. So again, great little machine. Still a lot of things I need to learn about it. Hope to make some more videos in the future, especially with the milling machine. We'll show you how to use that. Well, thanks a lot for taking your time to view this video, and we'll talk to you later.